30F caught the ick after 32M boyfriend drank wine in the morning. Am I being too harsh? Boyfriend, 32M, of around 3 months invited me, 30F, over for dinner at his place. He bought wine, and I declined because it was a work night. He had 23 glasses of wine with dinner, and smoked a joint later that night, which I also declined. In the morning around 8 a.m., I saw him drinking more wine with breakfast. He shrugged it off like it was no big deal. Just a little bit. I was floored and disgusted. Now I question if he drinks in the morning regularly, and doubt his ability to make healthy, sound decisions. I have the ick, and need some advice. Am I being too harsh? Edit. I'm surprised by all the answers. Thanks for the reassurance, folks. For more context, I have talked to him about my concerns. He then said he would not drink in the morning again. But this sparked a larger concern for me, such as independence and being able to self-evaluate and make consistent healthy decisions, rather than being told what to do. The fact that this happened at all has totally turned me off. It might be irreconcilable damage. A chilled glass of Bucks Fizz on a weekend with brunch, no problem. Large glass of Bordeaux with cornflakes before work, big problem. My grandpa drinks wine in the morning. He is a raging alcoholic. Drinking before or at work is a huge red flag, and I'm an alcoholic, so I would know LMAO. He then said he would not drink in the morning again. Alcoholic translation: he will not drink in front of you in the morning again. Nothing wrong with enjoying an alcoholic drink of your choice. But wine with breakfast isn't normal for many people. Could be a sign of a bigger issue. Man, I dated an alcoholic, and he at least waited a good 6 months before he started returning to his drinking habits. Anyways, it gave you the ick. You're allowed to want a partner who doesn't drink before work. If he likes the taste of wine, he could have waited until the end of the day, not the beginning. If he was 22, I'd probably give it a pass. But at 32, the guy has some issues. It's not like you two were on vacation or something. It was a work night. You stayed sober while he get drunk and high, and then smashed some more wine with breakfast the next day. Being that the relationship is still new at 3 months, you can bet this was his good behavior. Up to you if you want to stick around to see what he's like when he really lets loose. I have to ask because it is not clear, did he have the day off or did he have to work? I got the ick from a guy the first dated who felt the need to drink every time we did something. Even if it was 11 a.m., he had a beer in his hand. His response was it was his social lubricant, just couldn't understand why he couldn't hang out sober. Major turn off. I don't live that way and I didn't want to start, so I ended it. My aunt was married to my uncle for 3,040 years. About 10 years ago she discovered that he had been day drinking wine from a container she thought had water or something else in it. He hid his drinking from her for decades. She divorced him and his drinking got worse. He had multiple DUIs, had his license taken, eventually lost his memory, and had some violent altercations with his neighbors. He had lived in that house since 1978. He is now in a memory care facility and is unable to remember most things. This is probably one of the worst case examples of what can happen. And I'm certainly not suggesting that this is likely for your boyfriend. It is just an example of what can happen. Drinking that early in the morning is only acceptable on Christmas Day, at a festival, at an airport, and brunch. He's got a problem. I would say this is less a case of the ick and more just a genuine turnoff due to personality and value differences. You're not being too harsh at all. It's a weird thing to do even once. I empathize with you completely. That would, and has, also give me the ick. It tends to reveal a lot about that person. A mimosa at brunch is one thing. Breakfast wine on a workday is problematic. It's a fresh relationship and you're still getting to know each other, and this may be a good indicator that he's not someone you want to be with long term. Turning down a single glass of wine with dinner because you have work the next morning? Pretty lame. Millhouse, but dusting off a bottle of red in the AM? Weird. I'd break up with someone for that because it likely signals a problem. Regardless, you two sound totally incompatible based on these two extremes. I feel there's a spectrum to this that needs specifying. Did he down a bottle for breakfast so he could be sloppy drunk all morning? Or was it more like a mimosa and brunch? Are we talking polite 4 ounces wine glasses? Or a 40 ounces big gulp filled with MD 2020? I struggle with booze. Only thing I'm going to say is some alcoholics are decent people and worthwhile partners. Not saying he's an alcoholic, but that's what I have to say. I've heard a recovered alcoholic say they felt the point of no return was when they woke up and immediately reached for the bottle of whiskey for a swig, and that it felt like it was no longer a choice. Wine in the morning is most definitely a red flag. When was the last time he went a full day without drinking? Was there just a bit left in the bottle? Maybe he didn't want it to go bad? You're both adults. Just ask him. My ex had drinks in the AM from time to time. He was a raging alcoholic, just was able to downplay and hide it. Now that I'm an expert on addiction, this would be a huge red flag. Drink with bunch? Sure. JSUT for shots and giggles at 8 AM? Run. Just sounds like incompatibility. This is what dating is for. To check whether you're compatible with someone. You're clearly not.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.